ago. Uh, so anyways, thank you so much for being here. Let's see is this one, okay, let's see if this one, yeah, this one stops scrolling. All right, so there, now. All right, there we are. All better now. Okay, Stella's all, what did you eat? She just got upset because I wasn't petting her, is what the problem was. That's the problem. You don't like it when I'm not petting you, right? Hello, everybody. Hello. Okay, so now my stream should be much better for those of you that are on YouTube as opposed to those of you that are on Instagram. I am Simo broadcasting. This is Stella. She is my rat terrier and chihuahua mix. So now she should be all happy because she's front and center there. Yeah? Yeah. What do you want? You want that? The water? It's full. You want the water? I don't think you want the water. You want the water? Guess she wants the water. Well, I don't want you to get it all over my computers. That water and computers, not good bedfellows. That was the line in Lost World. So hope everybody is having a great Friday night. It is Friday, and somebody behind me gave me, I got a gift basket for being here at the cottage. Somebody sent me a gift basket, and I don't know if you can see at the bottom. So this sparked my title for tonight's live. Does size matter? Somebody also asked yesterday, if you watched my live yesterday, I was doing 20 questions, and the 20 most popular questions that I get asked all the time. One of the last ones that somebody added at the end was, does size matter? And of course I went over, does size matter? But then today I got this this gift basket, which is huge, by the way, huge gift basket. So thank you to the fan that sent me the gift basket. But in addition to that, there's this large beef stick right here on the bottom. And then there's two little ones up above it. And that just reminded me of, does size matter? So we'll be getting into that a little bit later. So somebody says, take off all your clothes. I do love that one because, again, Instagram and YouTube prohibit that. That is against their community guidelines. So I am going to stay within their community guidelines. That doesn't mean that you can't see me without anything, I guess, but you just have to know which fan sites to go to. So that's all I'm going to say there. Check my bio links. I did go over a lot of these questions yesterday. If you haven't seen that, I did post my live from yesterday so that you can go through it and see the answers to those 20 most asked questions. So I hope that you are cash money asks if I'm wearing a thong with this. Yes, definitely a thong with my leather skirt. That is, goodness, the power just went off. I don't know what happened. So my little that I might lose my Wi-Fi too. Who knows? So, but there was just a power blip. So let's see if I can get my big light to go back on. Hold on. We're going to check to see if my other light will go back on. It might look scary. It might look like we're in a haunted house. There we go. Whoops. Nope. All right. Let's change that lighting so it's a little less harsh. There we go. All right. I don't know what happened there, but we tripped a circuit. All right. We went in the dark there for a minute. We caused a power outage. So I want to thank everybody, especially on Instagram. Instagram has been going crazy for the last 24 hours. So I do appreciate all the fans that are out there and that have been liking my videos and helping to, and lots of new followers and subscribers. So thank you everybody that has decided to join in. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the new followers. So, Eric asks, where do I live? The cottage is in Florida. So I have the farm in Alabama. I have a beach house in Florida, and now I also have the lake cottage in Florida. So yes, I'm all over the place, all over the place. So those of you that follow me, the most up-to-date information is I'm gonna kind of chill this weekend in the cold weather. You probably are not used to seeing me in quite so many clothes, but it is rather chilly in Florida. It's only in the 60s. So I was chatting with somebody earlier, and it was only in the 30s and snowing in Buffalo, maybe. Anyways. So yes, so I know lots of places up in the north are also experiencing this cold snap, and Floridians are not used, definitely don't do well with cold. What part of Florida am I from? Well, right now I'm in Central Florida. So the beach house is over towards the Gulf. Obviously, it's but in that St. Pete, Tampa Bay, Champa Bay area, and then the lake house is closer to Orlando. So, but still relatively close, centrally located in Florida. So, Buenos Aires, Argentina, chiming in. Thanks for joining me this evening. Yes. So yesterday I was on for like 2 hours. It took 2 hours to run through the top 20 questions that I get asked every day. These are everyday questions that I get asked. So you can imagine every time I have to answer these questions. And that's something that I want people to know, is that I do respond to my own. I don't hire chatters or have a management company. I am my management company. So for that respect, I don't respond on most platforms. If you get a heart from me on Instagram or TikTok, you get a reply on or heart, then that you're doing good. But there are a couple of platforms that I do chat back and forth with fans, and that would be on my fan pages. So if that's something that interests you, then you should definitely hit subscribe and follow, and then check out my fan pages and my bio links. But that's the only way that I chat. So okay, hi there, Amelia wants a shout out. So thanks for joining in. James says golf lessons would be good. So yes, you have seen those shorts and reels of me playing golf. That was my very first time ever playing grown-up golf. I'm calling it grown-up golf because I've always played putt-putt, and I enjoy putt-putt, but I've actually never, ever played regular golf. So that was my first time on the course, and I think I did all right. Yes, I did biff the ground there pretty good. So it's going to take a lot of practice and a lot of lessons, and I'm a lefty. So I did have lefty clubs, so and irons, so that I was at least in a putter. So at least I was good there. But yes, that is. Christina asked, what is my favorite winter activity? Ice skating. Being a former professional ice skater, I will forever go to ice skating. So that would be my go-to. And in fact, I hope to get on the ice soon. I just haven't it's been a whirlwind trying to get the everything squared away and set up at the cottage. So I haven't really had time to explore. I did grab my ice skates from the RV, which are now which I have to take them out. Thanks for reminding me, Christina. I have to take them out of the vehicle in the house. Otherwise, they'll be ending up in Alabama with me when I go up this coming week. So Michael asked, does size really matter that much? Is it a deal breaker? So yes, size does matter. And I was live. So I have a hole in my wall, okay? So I put a hole in my wall, okay? All right, let me go back further so you can see it. I put a hole in my wall, all right? And it's this, say it's this far around, but I only patch it with like half of it. Did I fill the hole? No. So you gotta fill it with all the material. And if it's more than the material that I've got to go get something that's bigger. So that's not going to work. Same thing. If I were doing construction and I constructed a 10-foot wall, but I only put up 8 feet of drywall and left the studs there, I'm 2 feet short. Size matters. And people can say, the motion in the ocean. Okay, let's take this out. I'm gonna open this up just to show you this, because this is where this all kind of came from. I got this delivered to me today. This is a gift basket, huge gift basket that I received. Okay, so I don't know if you can see in here, but down at the bottom, this is 2 separate mini sausages. And then one big battering ram of a sausage down the bottom. Okay, so I'm gonna open this up and we're gonna show you. All right, so let's see, maybe I'll just poke a hole in it because it's so pretty on the same side. Okay, so I take out, this is a little beef stick and this is a turkey stick. And this one here is the big boy. Okay, look at the size of this one coming out. All right, now I'm gonna put it back. And then we're gonna go do some size. We're gonna do some size analysis, shall we? All right, there we go. Now everything's probably gonna fall down there. That's okay. I'll figure it out and get it back together. All right. So, does size matter? Now, isn't this cute? Even Stella likes it. Yes, so she can tell this is sausage. All right, so this is a beef summer sausage. Now, I can get my hand all around that beef summer sausage. And, it is from my palm to my middle finger, not all the way to the end. So I'm gonna go with, that's about 5.5 inches long. All right, yes, Stella, no, you cannot have the sausage. Okay, so how many of these could I fit into this? Look at the size difference. Now, some people will say, well, the motion of the ocean. It doesn't matter what motion you are making with this sausage. It is not going to stuff the same way as this sausage is going to, right? There's just no way. Put it another way. This is a good personal size. 1 or 2 people could eat this entire sausage. It's delicious. I'm sure it is. But this one could feed the whole family, right? Come on now. This is a solid, that's gonna be, that's from my elbow. That goes from my elbow. If I go from my elbow up there, elbow all the way up. That's a honking piece of meat right there. So size matters. Size matters. It does. That's what I'm sticking with. So anyways, I'm hoping that you guys are having a fantastic Friday night. Thanks for chiming in and joining me. This was a question that came up during my 20 questions yesterday. during live. And I thank everybody that joined in yesterday's live and is here with me again tonight. So there is lots going on here at the lake house, and I just thought this would be a fun and visual for you to understand that size matters. Now, if I had a tiny little hole, in the wall, if I, or something that you had to stuff something in, this would obviously be too big for it. But if you have a longer or bigger hole, and like what I said yesterday, is if I had a hole in the ground that was, I don't know, 5 inches deep, and I filled it 3 inches deep, it's not full to the surface. I could still break an ankle tripping over the hole in the ground because it wasn't all the way full. So it doesn't matter how much if you only got 3 inches of stuff to jam into the hole, if that hole is 5 inches deep, there's no way that 3 inches is gonna work. It's not full. Sorry, not full. So, but that there are instances where smaller is better. I got that. But size matters. Size matters. Right, good tutorial, right? And it gives you a good visual right there. Right there. This one you can't get your hand around. This one you can wrap it all around and then some. This one feeds a village. This one feeds maybe 1, 2 people. There's a mouse style holes fitting with the mouse style sticks. I gotcha. And then there are elephants. Right, sure. Mouse and elephants. Big difference. What is the perfect size? What is the perfect size? Let's see, what is the perfect size? Well, I think that varies per person, and there's a lot of factors to take into account. Personally, that 8-10 inches is right in there. 8's on the small side, but yeah, but that 10 inches is really a good filler. I'm the perfect girlfriend. I'm a good distance away. So yes, so that is my study for this evening, is comparing my sausages. Thought this is a duck? You thought Stella was a duck? Stella's not a duck. Stella's a dog. Dog, D-O-G. Yes. Well, same thing. I've the HOA where I'm at is like you can have 2 pets. It's one of those things. 2 pets under 20 pounds. Stella fits, no problem. Stella is little and under 20 pounds. And I have run into a German Shepherd, which is definitely not 20 pounds. And I'm like, even when it was a puppy, it probably wasn't 20 pounds. And I've run into a boxer who definitely wasn't 20 pounds. What other dogs have I seen here? So they don't stick to the guidelines. I'm like, okay, great, little dogs. Stella will have lots of playmates. And then I'm like, Stella can't play with that one. Stella can't play with that one. Stella can't play with that one. So even the smaller dogs, I mean, I've seen a smaller dog that was ginormous. I was like, there's no way. And when I was in the RV and I was traveling, I had stayed at Disney's Fort Wilderness campsites, and they have the dog park there. One side is for the little dogs and one side is for the big dogs. And she plays with Willow at the farm, who is a much taller dog, but Willow is also very willowy. She's a lot of fluff, and there's not a lot of, if Willow's 45 pounds, I would be surprised. She's probably only 35 pounds, but she's much taller, but she's just a willowy kind of dog. But they go back and forth, and Willow pretends to fight Stella over toys and whatever, but Stella's really trying on one side, and Willow's just like, I could take it or leave it. And if she really wanted to win, she could, flip Stella, but she doesn't. Well, this one time that I was at Disney, this pug, it was a pug, and but it was a roly-poly pug on top of it all. It was a huge pug, and it rolled right over Stella. And she ended up with like this massive hematoma on her shoulder for over a month, because the dog rolled on her. They were both going for a ball at the same time. They were in the pug was in the small dog section, and it happens. But that even though she was a small dog, she was actually pretty hefty. So anyways, thank you for joining Mary Burke live tonight as I am in the office. Yes, I will continue to pet you. Don't you worry none. I got you, Stella, baby girl. I got you, Stella. I do. Yes, you're a good girl. You are a good girl. Yes. Yes. And she gets very upset when I stop petting her. Most people do get upset when I stop petting them. Yeah. Okay. I get the beef, right? Yeah, Arby's lied. They don't get the beef. I get the beef right here. The beef stick. Yes. The big beef summer sausage. Size matters. Right, Stella? Yes, Stella? Yes, baby girl. So, make sure you hit follow. Make sure you hit subscribe. Like I said, you are... this is just Friday night, just sitting back, kicking back, relaxing with you. And where are you going? Where you going, Stella? Where you going? Yeah? You want to go out? I'm going to open the door to the office. I'll be right back. Yeah, you want to go out? Okay. Have fun. Have fun storming the castle. All right. And I am back. You've got me back. Back in the saddle again. Somebody, Eric asked if I am married. Yes, I am married. That was one of the 20 questions yesterday. How old is Stella? That one wasn't in there, but everybody, a lot of, I do get asked questions about Stella every day. And Stella is in her terrible twos. Doesn't that figure? She's in her twos. So, yes. Is Stella a Jack Russell? No, she is not a Jack Russell. She often gets confused for a Jack Russell. She is a rat terrier and a Chihuahua mix. So she is both, but she has those longer legs. Chihuahuas have those little tiny legs and little tiny bodies. I must be getting an Amazon delivery because she is also my alarm dog. If you hear her barking, that means that there's somebody probably dropping a box on my porch. Oh, I'm so glad that you found me, Dominic. You've saved one of my shorts in my overalls for your playlist. I love that. Absolutely. Save those shorts and reels. Make them favorites of yours. I've been reviewing a lot of the content that I started out with. A lot of people asked how I got started. And that was one of the 20 questions that I answered yesterday. And it goes back to, I had all these had the beach house, and so I was doing stuff there, and at the farm, and I was doing renovating and fixing, and I said, people would really enjoy these these um, these projects that I'm doing. So, and I just bring you my life, what I am doing on any given day. So, especially up at the farm, whether it's taking care of the animals or whether it's doing renovations or building out the cabin, all sorts of different things. And one of my first videos to ever go viral was on TikTok, and it was drilling a hole 2 inches up from the bottom on a 55-gallon drum and installing a bulkhead on it, dropping a weight down through it with a string attached so that I could then put the inside of the bulk, drop that inside of the bulkhead and then the outside and screw those together, and then create a water rain collection watering system. So that was one of, and I had to use a hole saw, and the best way for me to stabilize the 55-gallon drum was to lay it on its side and straddle it and then plunge the hole into it. And that one went viral. And another one that went viral, I just reposted, was working on the farmhouse front steps. They had these old, cracked, crumbling concrete steps. So I was taking a sledgehammer to them and removing the steps. So, but those are some of the videos that originally catapulted the different social media platforms that I am on. Now the TikToks that I had have all, some of them have been terminated, so now I have the newer ones on there. So TikTok is very, very, there was a big learning curve to the community guidelines on TikTok. And I'm still learning because they just killed one, my latest account on there. Well, not my latest, I have a new one. Grandma Mary Burke. So yes, I am also, all the Karens were like, okay, Grandma. And I was like, okay, I'm going with it. Why not roll with it? So my new TikTok is Grandma Mary Burke. So you can find that and join there too. So and if you want to know what social medias I'm on, because I post similar but different versions of the same content on all my different social media platforms, and including my fan pages. So what you see, it depends on what you want to see and where you want to see it. So, let's see. Mary Burke, that's me. Hi there. Thanks for joining in. You've got me live. So I was just rambling. Sorry about that. If you have a question, you can certainly ask it. It's Friday night, and I was going over size matters. So, and I went off onto a tangent about how I got started. Montreal, Jean-Yves Brisson. Thanks, Jean. I have been to Montreal. I've been to the park. I've been up in that elevator that takes you all the way up. Beautiful park there. I've been up to, is it Montmartre or Mont? I've been up the mountain there. That's also beautiful. So, would I call myself a size queen? That's accurate. That's accurate. Thank you. Thank you for thinking that I'm beautiful. I do appreciate that, Jean. And that, though, in Canada, the couple of places that I've been, I have been to Montreal a couple of times. One of my skating partners hailed from Montreal, so I visit her every once in a while. But the other place is Quebec City. Am I cooking sausage tonight? No, this is, I'm not cooking sausage tonight, but I am cooking meatballs. Meatballs for my spaghetti. But I won't be using this sausage. I'm gonna put this back. This will probably be used on Thanksgiving as part of the charcuterie board. But this was just a gift that I had received, a welcome gift to the cottage. So I was going over, and this is summer sausage. It's one of those ones that only after you open it and cut it do you need to refrigerate it or what have you. So it's room temperature at the moment, and I won't cook it. I'll just slice it and serve it. Hi there, thanks for chiming in from India. I don't speak Italian, sorry. Am I Marie? I'm Mary. So here's something to consider. I know that there's on Facebook and on Instagram, I battle fake Marys every day. They're on all sorts of different platforms. So, but they are rampant on Facebook. So you have to be careful. I am Mary with M-A-R-Y, not Mary, M-A-R-R-R-R-Y, and not Marie, M-A-R-I-E or M-A-R-R-I-E. So definitely not any of those. I'm Mary, like a Virgin Mother Mary. Thanks for the thumbs up. So, Mary B, M-A-R-R-B disappeared. Yes, Christina, absolutely. Thanks so much. Yes, sometimes it takes like an act of Congress to get certain fake scams taken down. And sometimes I have to get the legal department, my legal team, involved in actually getting it removed. So I do battle them. I do report them. If you see a fake one, make sure you report it. I currently have, I think, 50,000 followers on, I do have 2 accounts on Facebook. The one has 50,000 followers, and the second one has like 11,000 followers. But so I do have 2 accounts there, but other than that, all of them are fake. So just be careful of that. Thanks for joining in from Norway. Somebody asked if it's an open marriage. My husband doesn't play, so very straight-laced, very business-like, and I'm the crazy one. Yes, I'm the little bit of the crazy one. Being more of the artist, professional figure skater, and that nature, I've always been outgoing, not outspoken, but definitely outgoing. And yeah, I don't know, more of a show person. So I guess what you would say, I have a hall pass. Hall pass. Should I choose to exercise it? So definitely not in the lifestyle, not a swinger, not open in that respect. But married for over 30 years. So there's nothing fake about me. Yeah, I lay it out there. I let you know. So you often see me in my glasses. I wear contacts, but I don't wear colored contacts. I wear the whitening trays to make my teeth white, but other than that, they're my teeth. So I get my nails done. So, my boobs are real. What? Jean asks if there's children. Yes. And not only am I a mother, I am a grandmother. So that's part of the funny part was, all the Karens that were going, okay, grandma, come and get your grandma. And I'm like, I am a grandma, so why not just roll with it? So, do I like hunting? What do I hunt? I am not a hunter. So, I practice. I definitely shoot. I have rifles and I have handguns. I practice safe gun handling, as well as keeping my guns safe in the gun safe. They deserve to be in the gun safe. where I can keep them safe, but have them should I need them. I have practiced with archery, the bow and arrows. However, I don't necessarily hunt. I fish. I like to fish, and I I do believe hunting is necessary to cull some of the overpopulation. So a lot of times places get overpopulated with deer, and I think it's very important. It or any animal, I think it's important to cull that and keep it within a manageable, to keep that ecosystem balanced. But I just don't do it. Thank you for my congrats on 30 years. But you've been married for 45 years. Congrats. Congrats. It's a lot. It's a lot, and congratulations to you. It's always a work in progress, right? Yeah. And is she your best friend as well? You're a farmer. Adam is a farmer. Thanks for what do you farm? Okay, so there's having a farm. There's a different. I've learned obviously that there's different types of farming. Whether it's mine is just a hobby farm where I have a garden that sustains me and the farm, and then I also have a few animals. But there's all sorts of farms. There's tree farms for harvesting the pine. There's or whatever tree that you are growing, and then there's cattle or poultry or animal farming, I guess. And then there's vegetable farming. And then somebody was a sod farmer. I was talking to somebody that was a sod farmer where they grow the grass. So just all different types of farming. And definitely, my farm in Alabama is not a sod farm. I'm very happy that I was able to get grass to grow this year, because it is in Alabama, their soil is very clay. It is very difficult. It is sludgy and clay. So it is very difficult to get grass to take. And I needed to, at the time, I needed to turn the grass and to aerate it and to get it turned. And I didn't have an aerator. I didn't have a cultivator, and I didn't have the tractor at the time. So I used the side by that I have, and was doing donuts just to try and tear it up and get that ground all turned. I look 30. Oh, I love you. I do. How can I be a grandmother? I do. I have little ones. It's a new thing. Hi, Adam. Yes, you keep house animal. Okay. So it was like, I still don't understand exactly what that means. Is that like you raise dog, you have a dog farm or a cat farm, or thanks for liking my videos. I do appreciate that. Hi, Mike, 41 years old and dying. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, it depends on how you look at things. I know there's people out there that are sick, and that I do recognize that. But in a way, every day that we're alive, we're also dying. So, try to focus on the positive sides. It's another day above ground. It's a good day. Try to focus on the good. A man farm? Is that like the best little whorehouse in Texas? Have a man farm? Now that would be interesting. Mary's Man Farm. Can't you just see it now? Have all the stallions. Good evening, Jose. Thanks for joining in. Thanks, Amigo. Is that Amigo thinking I look fabulous? I appreciate that. Yes, it is a good day. Yes, Christina. Yes. We all die, but we don't all live. That's another good saying. I like, Christina, thank you. I do try to focus on the positives. And there were a couple in the 20 questions yesterday that, are in the negative. And I always try to find a positive spin on things. And that's just my nature. I'm not mean by nature. I'm not, and I'm not negative by nature. I try. I strive to not be negative by nature. Everybody has bad days. A couple of days ago was a bad day for me. I was challenged to get a delivery for some furniture to the cottage. Things that I had ordered months and months ago that say they're at a warehouse 15-20 minutes from my house, and they can't get a delivery person here. And I was trying to think outside the box on how to get all the items. And I'm like, I'll come pick it up. I'll rent a U-Haul. I'll bring my trailer. I don't care. I just, hosting Thanksgiving and expecting 20 plus people, and I don't have a dining room table. And you've had it there for 3 weeks. So what can I do? Can I throw more money at you to deliver it? Can I come pick it up myself? So again, but negativity will not get the job done. So I just had to focus on finding a solution. Working outside the box. And every time you hit a no wall, is there a workaround for that no? How can we make that no a yes? Am I naughty by nature? Always. Always. Have always been naughty by nature. A true chef? I don't know about a true chef. I make a few meals really well. Other than that, on the day-to-day stuff, not so much. I tend to be a grazer or a picker. I could go to a restaurant and get 20 appetizers and be fine. I like a little bit of everything. But I don't, when it comes to getting a meal, I don't like getting a big meal. I'd rather have small plates that I can pick and choose what I want. How often have I gotten to use the hall pass? Great question. Your first wife was a Mary. Was she a little crazy too? How often I have utilized on occasion, less than a handful of times in 30 years, way less. So it's on a very, very, very rare occasion would I choose to do that. But then there's always Derek. I've been friends with Derek since college years, so I really don't need a hall pass. You like to work in the box, James? I understand. Yes. You like to slide that package right into the box. Like the positive, appreciate, thank you. Me being open-minded. And really, that's what it comes down to, in my opinion, is people get so close-minded. So this is the way it has to be done. that and get so frustrated that they don't even know why they're angry anymore. They're just frustrated, to me, it all comes down to communication and being open-minded. So, again, I just, you know, if the box don't fit, how sometimes you got to take the things out of the box to make it fit into the slot. I don't know. You got to find a way to make it work. Hi there, Flash Black from Australia. And good day, mate. How are things down under? A tip for my vegetables, Federico: use black plastic as mulch. Interesting. Black plastic as mulch. Could I just use the rubber mulch? I like the rubber mulch. I used the rubber mulch a lot of places around the farm this past year when I was doing some landscaping. Uh, the rubber mulch worked really well up in the woods. Mary with Dwight says, Mary was so awesome he married her twice, not just once. A little crazy and gorgeous, see? It's in the Marys. We're all a little crazy. And was she Irish Catholic too? Because we're the craziest of them all. 10:20 a.m. And you're like the following day, so it's Saturday there. And right, Flash Black. It's 10:20 a.m. in Australia on Saturday already. You just logged in, and what are we discussing? All right, well, thanks for joining my live. You've got Mary Burke Live. First, hit follow and subscribe if you haven't already done that. And then you can check it all out. Today, I was discussing, does size matter? And I was giving you a visual of size matters. Like this one, I can wrap my hand all around. And this one, I can't wrap my hand around, nor, the sizes of these are extremely different, right? And how many of these this is like personal size, and this could feed a whole family, right? So, and there is no way that taking this and making the motion of the ocean and doesn't matter what you do with it, there is no motion that is going to fill that or satisfy that. So this is just a little snack right here. Got it? So size matters. Bigger, better. Bigger, better. Go big or go home. Oh, Neutron Jimmy, thanks for joining. Thanks for checking out my OF. Yeah, so I do have fan pages, and you certainly, please check out my fan pages. They're in my bio links, and that's where you can see all sorts of different content for me. And I was going over that earlier, and that was one of the 20 questions from yesterday. So I was delving into that a little bit. That I do post all different types of content. So recently I did a toilet seat installation where I was getting rid of the slammy bangy seats. Those keep people up at night. Nobody likes the slamming and banging. There's a time for slamming and banging, and that's not the toilet seat. So I replaced those with soft close. And somebody had asked, one of my top questions is, do I ever fall out of my tops? Sure, it happens. So that had happened in one of the filmings. So I created that whole segment for my OF fans. So it's on the fan pages, and that is a topless version of the same reels that I did on the YouTube, Instagrams, TikToks. So you can see that there's similar but very different content on all my different social media pages. You love how you're always checking to see if it pops, right? If that button pops, if the strap pops, if the bikini falls off. So I am very careful and conscientious to the community guidelines that on each of the social media platforms that I post on. And so it does my production crew. So they make sure that the appropriate things get placed on the appropriate platforms because yes, I don't want to lose accounts. I want to keep all my accounts chugging right along. And even still, I had the cowboy hat and I was sitting behind a chair. Now, you can't tell that I was wearing clothes behind that chair. I was, but it doesn't look like it. And I was just propped up and I had the cowboy hat and I was sitting behind the chair. And it got flagged by either somebody reported it, which is my guess, is that it got reported and to Instagram. And they go through a whole vetting process. If anybody has had that happen to a post, that they've posted something and it goes through that, you have to go through and do an appeal and all that stuff. But it really, they shut down your pipeline and your streaming views and everything else, and that you don't get recommended. So as a content creator, you want to be recommended. You want to have new followers. So in order for that to happen, you have to have all that pipeline open. You can't clog the pipeline. So if you see something like that and then you see that you made that picture a favorite or something and then it goes away, it's because somebody reported it. And then I had to, at some points, I'm just like, I'm not fighting them over it anymore. I know I wasn't breaking any guideline according to their guidelines, but I concede and will remove the content. But then I would put it on my fan pages, saying that, okay, well, they deemed this too risky on Instagram, so my fan pages benefit from the riskiness. It's a win-win. Hi, Mitchell from Norfolk in the UK. Nice. I have been to the UK. I went to Birmingham, Sheffield, London, Aberdeen. I think that's the majority of, and then Dublin, Ireland, which is not really considered UK, I don't think. I know it's Ireland, but it's Southern Ireland. I could go open through privacy. I don't know what you mean. To be honest with you, I don't know what you mean. Hi, Campbell. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for being here. Hi, Eagle. Thanks for you like the explanation. Thank you. Day is going well. Harvey, thanks for joining in. Yes. Harvey is also on my fan pages as well. Thanks for joining me tonight. What's my fan base? I have fans from all over the world. All over the world. I have millions of followers across my social media platforms, hundreds of thousands of followers on my fan sites. So I get bombarded with tens of thousands of DMs on social media platforms. There's no way that I can respond to any and all of those, especially doing it myself. So I only will chat with people on my fan pages. So, because it's private property, not a public one. What I'm still not sure what you're referring to, Ronaldi. What is on private property? Thank you. I know you enjoy my content, and I do appreciate you being here, Harvey. And I thank you for following me on all on across all my social media platforms. I really truly appreciate my fans, and I let them know that. I couldn't do it without you guys. Well, I could, but I appreciate you being here, supporting, and hitting like, subscribe, follow, sharing. Lots of waves going on at the moment. Yes, Big Don. Thanks for appreciating me. I appreciate you. I do. I do. Hi, Batari. What's a fan site? That would be the OFs and the fan sleaze of the world. So those are fan sites. I guess more risque content. It's models use it. All sorts of different people use the sites. So thanks for thinking that I'm beautiful. Thanks for joining in this evening. I will start over and say that this is Mary Burke. You've got me live on a Friday night. We were discussing size matters, and I was showing you how size matters. There is, how many of these could you fit in here? I got 1, 2 and a half. 2.5 of these. This could feed a village. This could only feed maybe 1 or 2. So somebody's asking about a content partner that I have that's on the fan pages. That's Derek Blade. So Derek Blade is someone that I have known my entire, well, not my entire life, but my entire adult life since college. So he's a little crazy like me, whereas my husband is not crazy. So occasionally we will film content. Does that answer your question, Jack? Can you eat a kiwi without shaving it? I've never tried without peeling the kiwi. I wouldn't want to eat the kiwi with the fuzz on it. Be careful about using the sausage. This is to eat. This is to eat. Eat the sausage. This is for a whole family to eat. Because this is the personal size to eat. Kiwi skin is good, someone says. I've never tried it. Gotta be honest with you. Thanks, Flash Black, for liking my content. I do appreciate that. I try to entertain you guys. It's for me. It's about bringing a smile. Going back to what I was saying earlier, I enjoy life. I enjoy bringing content to you. As I go through my day, I like to find the lighter, funnier side of things and try to give that to you and hopefully put a smile on your face and other things. Trent, 4 inches of fury. All right. You can rock that boat all you want. The emotion of the ocean is not gonna make it fill the sea. Bad mommy. Bad mommy. I am a bit naughty. I always have been. Just saying. The tongue-in-cheek entendres have always been a thing, and and that's one of the things that I found right off the get-go is that when I was doing the renovations and I was going over the steps of doing something, And I was saying it, you know, that you have to, you know, drive this or screw that or, you know, hammer that. You get your tool, and people were dying laughing about it. And you know, for me, I'm like, well, a guy says it. You know, you go 2 inches up from the bottom. Well, you know, think about that. There's different ways that you can interpret that. So, um, but at the time, I was just going through and saying it to complete the project. But when I play it back, I'm like, oh my God, that is hilarious. And, um, and, but you know, guys say it and do it all day long when they're talking about tools and they're going about, you know, all this other stuff, and it doesn't come across the same way. I say it and it comes across completely different. And I like that. Hi, Travis. I do see that. How are you today? Happy Friday. See? Hilarious, hot, you call it what you want. I call it fun. It's all in good fun, right? It works, it works. And I like working with tools and I like working with wood. So you'll hear me talking about it often. I know. I don't know how. Why? It must be a slow night tonight. Must be a slow night tonight. But it is going to be time for me to sign off real soon because I have to go eat my dinner. I have to go make my spaghetti and meatballs. I am not cooking sausage for tonight, but I am having spaghetti and meatballs. So I do appreciate you sitting and chatting with me tonight and enjoying your Friday night with me. Well, that's spam. I hate when I get spam. All right. So any questions before I sign off for tonight? Make sure you hit follow. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you go to my fan pages. Good evening, Anthony. Yes, I am here. I am here. No questions? Open my bra. Again, compliance with the community guidelines will not allow that on this platform. I do have it available on other platforms. You just have to find my fan pages in my bio. Do I ever visit Canada? I have not. I have. Let me start with I have visited Canada. I have been to Montreal several times, as well as Quebec City. That's the only places is on that eastern seaboard side, you know, that east coast side. But it has been a number of years since I have been to Montreal. Have I been to Australia? I have not been to Australia. Federico suggests a mixture of sausage and meat in my meatballs. I have done that. I have done ground pork and meat and beef in my meatballs. I have done that, and that is very nice. I tend to like the hot sausage. Go figure. I like it spicy. I tend to use the hot sausage in when I do that. I also, depending whether I want it lighter, if I do it lighter, then I will mix turkey in with the beef. So depending on how I'm feeling, if I'm feeling more fit than hungry, it depends on what I'm feeling at the moment. So haven't decided. And sometimes I just go with the plain meat meatballs. Oh, if you want to see the braless version of me, then you have to go to my fan pages. Check my bio links. Kisses back from Poland. Thanks for liking my hands. Thank you, Federico. I do hope to have a wonderful dinner, and hopefully you guys will have a great weekend ahead of you. I do plan to be back again tomorrow. Haven't decided what I will discuss on our next live, but I do appreciate you chiming in about size matters. Again, size matters. It does. They're both beef sausages. They're both summer sausages. So from Hickory Farms, they gave me the mini and the massive. I got mini and massive sausages. Summer sausage. Do I have any tattoos? No. Not a single tattoo. And the only piercings I have are my ears. Those are the only piercings. I appreciate tattoos on other people. I view my body, my temple, and I also view it as I do not write on my temple. So there is no writing on my temple. No writing on my canvas. It's a blank canvas. I let the clothes speak for me. Any other questions? This is your last. Thank you for liking my boobs. I do appreciate that. Ink would spoil my body. Yeah, thank you. I tend to agree with you. Yes, Dave. Thank you for also appreciating no tattoos. Yes. Yes, and I appreciate you for liking me for that. I do. Thank you, David. You watched some of my shorts right now. I'm glad you enjoyed them, eBug. Make sure you hit subscribe and make sure you check out my fan pages as well. Hi there, Surfboard. You're catching me at the tail end. I'm just about to sign off for the night. Yes. What was your question, Timothy? I missed it. Sorry, you'll have to post it again. I did not see it. I'll have to wait for it to scroll up now. Because I got lots of waves and lots of people signing on. How you've got Mary Burke live. Where's my Mary's live social media? You're on it right now. Oh, let's see. Did I miss your question again? Let's see. Nope, that was somebody else. All right, thanks for liking my shorts on YouTube, Joe. What size? You mean as in my boobs? 36D to double D. Good evening, Lone Wolf. Have I ever been to Turkey? No, I have not been to Turkey. Am I wearing heels tonight? Yes, there are heels on my boots. These boots are made for walking. And that's just what they'll do. These boots are made for walking. Those are my boots. Those were from Amazon, actually. They're a brand called Quadro, all leather boots. 8 inches has never failed you yet. Good to hear it, Steve. Yes, Darren, size matters. On average, what's a good size then? Me, 8 to 10. So here, if I take that boot off, you can see it up close. That's the boot. And it's all leather. There you go. I'm going to put it back on. Yes, of course size matters. Of course size matters. You know, if I were to try to put this into something that's, you know, much bigger, it's going to sink in there and it's not going to fill the whole hole. Whereas you have this, that's going to fill a hole and be stuffing it, right? Where that one is not. This one is a personal size to eat, whereas this one is a shareable to eat. This could feed a village, right? That's a big, big, big That's almost like a baseball bat. Ready? Swing, bada, 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 swing. Ready? Timothy, did I miss your question again? I was waiting for you to post your question. I don't even see your question. I keep going back. Is it where am I from? You're going to have to post that question again. I've been waiting for you to post it. Have I been to New York City? Yes. It's been a number of years since I've been to New York City. It was pre-COVID. It was a lot of fun. Stayed down on the Ave of the Americas. It was nice, beautiful. Still waiting on Timothy's question. So I am trying to find Timothy's question. Timothy has not put that question back up again because he says, answer me, and I'd love to answer you if you put up the question. Do a video with that one. Cooking. Yes. Your birthday is midnight? Sagittarius. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I'm Al. I'm Alabama. Have a property in Alabama. What part of Alabama do I like? Well, I'm not from there originally. The property that I have is south of Montgomery, so I am partial to that part, I guess. Waving. Thanks for joining in. Yes, I hope you have a good night tonight as well, Robert. Happy Thanksgiving, Philip. New Jersey's in the house. Thanks for joining in. Yes, surfboard down by 6th Ave. That's about right. The Ave of the Americas. Ruben asks about cut or uncut. I guess it depends on the size. It always comes down to size. Texas guy now in Georgia. All right. Fantastic. You have a property in Orange Beach in Alabama. Fantastic. On the Gulf Shores. I'm always kind of naughty. Absolutely. Hi there, Pat in Ohio. Thanks for joining in. I always look good in denim. Thank you. Thanks for joining in. Have I been to Europe? Yes. England, Ireland, Scotland, France, Hungary. South Central Kentucky, welcome. Thank you for joining in. Have I ever been to OB? Where's OB? I don't know OB. PCB, but not OB. Love back. Wear overalls tomorrow? Could be tomorrow's an overalls day. Am I single? No, I am not single. I am married. Perdido Key. Very nice. Have I ever been to Miami? Yes, I have. Oklahoma's in the house. Thank you. Somebody asked for a 360, so I'm going to take that opportunity. I'm going to stand up and spin and spin. Oh, maybe I got to move the chair out of the way. So this is my outfit for today. It is. The leather is quite hot. There you go. And the boots. Love to you guys. Thank you for joining me this evening. What about Houston? Yes, I did go to Houston. That's the only place in Texas that I had stopped and stayed at for any length of time. I was actually there to root on some friends and family for the Junior Olympics that is there. That was hosted there. God, how many years ago was that? 10 years ago now? So that was the last time I was and the one and only time that I was in Texas. Thank you, Flash Black. Yes, I'm going, and my plan is to have a good dinner. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Fantasy Fest Key West, I did not go. I had several friends that did go, and I have a couple of fans that live in Key West that wanted me to come down, but I did not go. Hi there from Ireland. Good evening. Your dad says hi? Hi, Dad. Have I ever gone to an NFL game? Sure. I am a Patriots fan and a Bucks fan, so I have been to both of those games. Been to the Bucks and to the Patriots in Gillette Stadium. I've been to a football game in the old stadium before Gillette Stadium with the concrete and the metal bleachers, and it was snowing and it was freezing. And then I went to the Gillette Stadium. One of the first things that opened the Gillette Stadium I also went to was the Rolling Stones in concert. That was a lot of fun. And you should have sausage envy, Steve. And the Bucks, I've been to the Bucks several times. So, and being a figure skater, I've skated on the Olympic ice at Lake Placid several times, many times. I skated there before the Olympics, and I think I was there in '79 skating, and I was there afterwards as well several times. Rented out the Olympic ice to skate on it. I've also skated on Boston Garden, the old garden and the new garden. I skated on Boston Commons. Back when Baybank was around, I did a show for Baybank on Boston Commons. Skated with Disney on Ice. So toured the world, South America and Europe. And let's see, what other fun places did I skate? Those are really the highlights for me, anyways. Lots of rinks. I was a rink rat growing up. You would always find me in an ice rink. Do I work my chest? Absolutely. Chest presses, declines, inclines, butterflies. Darren says I sound like a great athlete. I was raised in that was my nature. From the time that I was 8 years old, I was in an ice rink probably 6 hours a day, 6 days a week. Yeah. And then you know what I would do in my fun time? I would go skate. Yes. So if I wasn't training, I would do it for fun because I loved it. I started skating when I was I was less than 2 years old the first time I was put on skates. You saw my reel of me on the ice. That was the first time that I was that I did the shorts and the reels. That was the first time I had been on, and I consider myself rusty there. But that was the first time I'd been on skates in 3 years. So that was the first sampling that I got. I haven't been on the ice since. So when I go again, that it'll probably be, I did that last Thanksgiving Day. So I'm hoping to do a repeat this year. So I haven't had a chance to go back. I have my skates, I just haven't had a chance. Have I ever been scuba diving? No, I've been snorkeling and I've done surface scuba where I did not need to be certified, but you did surface scuba. And it's no longer there. Typhoon Lagoon used to have, I don't know if anybody has gone back this far, but probably 10 plus years ago now. 2007, 2008. We're almost coming up on 20 years on that. Wow. All right, so somewhere between 2007 and 2010, Typhoon Lagoon used to also have a saltwater tank. And you could do a free snorkeling on one side where you just grabbed a snorkel and a mask and you just snorkeled across and you got to see all the fish and everything that was in there. And then on the other side, you could pay to have semi-private or private tank or what have you, and do surface scuba where you got an hour of time, or as long as your tank lasted, that you could go down. It wasn't necessarily surface scuba, but you weren't really going down deep or anything like that. But there were bonnet sharks in there and all sorts of tropical fish, so that you could so you could swim with the fish. So I did that one as well. But now it's no longer there. I don't know how long it's been gone, but I checked the last time that I was at Disney a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I wonder if they still have it. I would really, I guess I've checked back in June when it was my birthday, whether or not I would love to go surface scuba diving again. And it's gone. They removed it and put something else up. Thanks for liking to watch me skate, Christina. I do appreciate that. You like to surf? I have never surfed. I've never been really good at the boogie board, the skim board thing either. So that's kind of rollerblading, ice skating. That's more skiing. I could do skiing. I'm not great. I never tried snowboarding either. Skis, two skis, two skis. Scuba is easier than snorkeling. I have this phobia, I guess, of putting my face in the water with that mask and the breathing thing. It took me quite a while to get over it. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was not. I definitely felt like a fish out of water, not in water. I'd be a beautiful mermaid. Yeah, thank you. Yes, I definitely wore the bikinis during that scuba, and it was cold because the water for the sharks and everything, they keep that. I think the water was 62 degrees, I want to say, on that side. A little bit warmer on the other side because it was mass people that could just snorkel all over through it. But that side, they kept specifically cool for the aquatic animals or fish that were in it, so that so yeah, that was a little it took a little bit to get used to that side. All right, everybody, I do appreciate you being here with me this evening. I really am going to go this time. I'm going this time. All right, so thank you for joining me. Make sure you hit follow. Make sure you hit subscribe. And you can check out my fan pages and in my bio links. All right? Everybody have a great rest of your Friday night, and hopefully I'll see you again tomorrow. Enjoy the weekend. Bye now.